The founder who built the business by carrying everything is now the founder who can't let go of it. Not because they won't, but because nobody has built the alternative yet. This video is about what the alternative looks like and what it takes to build it without creating gaps. Gaps that confirm the carrying was necessary all along. Today, we're going to take a look at the carrying habit and why it persists, what the founder's role actually evolves into, the trust equation at stage 5, what clarity looks like when it's built, not assumed, standards that hold without constant correction, and what the founder feels on the other side. Let's get started. The carrying habit and why it persists. Carrying feels like leadership because it was leadership. At stage 1 and stage 2, the founder who stepped in and handled things was doing exactly what the business needed. That behavior got reinforced thousands of times. It became identity. Stopping it feels like stepping back from the role that made the business real in the first place. Team has been shaped by carrying the pattern. The founder carries, so the team delegates upward. The team delegates upward, so the founder carries more. The pattern is mutually reinforcing, and both sides have been trained into it. Changing it requires changing the structure, not just the intention. The alternative hasn't been built yet, which makes stopping feel irresponsible. The founder who tries to stop carrying before the ownership infrastructure exists doesn't create freedom, they create gaps. Work doesn't get done, decisions don't get made. The message becomes carrying is necessary, and it becomes true again. What the founder's role actually involves into. The founder who stops carrying doesn't stop working, they change what they're working on. Before the shift, does the work or supervises it directly, makes the decisions the team brings back, handles the difficult situations personally, closes the gap when the process runs out, keeps the outcomes on track through presence. After the shift, builds and maintains the ownership infrastructure, sets the standard that replaces personal judgment, develops the people who make the decisions, closes gaps in structure, not in the work, keeps outcomes on track through clarity and trust, not through being in the room. Same commitment to the business, completely different expression of it. The trust equation at stage 5. Trust at stage 5 is not a feeling, it's a structure. The founder who says, I trust my team without building the structure to support that trust isn't leading, they're hoping. 4 conditions. Clarity. The team has to know exactly what the outcome is supposed to look like. Authority. A team member can't be trusted with an outcome they don't have the authority to produce. Consistency. The team reads the founder's behavior to calibrate how much ownership is actually available. And small reps. Trust at stage 5 is built incrementally, not granted all at once. Those 4 conditions are what trust at stage 5 is built from. Where each one is missing in the business is exactly what workbook through. Where each one is missing in the business is exactly what workbook 3 is designed to help examine. Workbook 3 is building a business that decides without you. And you can find that at majority.academy. Standards that hold without constant correction. Correction is a signal that the standard isn't shared yet. When correction becomes the norm, the standard is still a private possession of the founder. The left column on the screen shows what it looks like when the standard lives in the founder's head. Applied inconsistency varies with mood and bandwidth. Communicated through correction, not clarity. Not accessible before the work is done. Teams learn it through trial and error, mostly error. It requires the founder's presence to apply consistently. Every item in that column is a diagnostic signal, a place where ownership is structurally prevented from forming. The workbook examines which of these are currently present in your business and what they're costing you. What the founder feels on the other side. Pause. This is the part of stage 5 nobody talks about. The discomfort isn't just in the carrying, it's in the learning to let go. The first feeling is exposure, not relief. When the carrying stops and the team takes real ownership, the founder's first sensation is often discomfort, not freedom. Things happen without them. Decisions get made when they aren't consulted on. The exposure is real before the relief arrives. The second feeling is uncertainty about what their role is now. If the founder isn't making every decision and handling every difficult situation, what are they doing? This question surfaces almost every stage 5 founder who successfully transfers ownership. This question surfaces for almost every stage 5 founder who successfully transfers ownership. The answer is what defines stage 6. The third feeling, eventually, is the thing that we're building toward. The team handles something difficult and handles it well. The outcome lands without the founder's involvement. The client is served, the standard holds. The founder experiences what the business looks like when it runs through ownership instead of through them. Summary. Leading without carrying in plain terms. 4 takeaways. 1. Carrying persists because the alternative hasn't been built yet. Stopping before the ownership infrastructure exists doesn't create freedom, it creates gaps. The carrying continues until there's something real to replace it. 2. The founder's role evolves from doing to building the conditions for doing. Clarity, authority, standards, and trust. These are what the founders build at stage 5. Not more outputs and not more oversight. 3. Trust is an infrastructure, not a feeling. Built incrementally through contained reps with consistent follow through. The team earns ownership through demonstrated judgment. The founder extends it through honored decisions. 4. The discomfort of the other side is real, but temporary. Exposure before relief. Role uncertainty before clarity. The founder who pushes through both experiences what stage 5 was actually building towards. That relief is what the final video in this series brings into full view. Let me bring it back to this quote. Trust at stage 5 is not a feeling, it's a structure. The founder who says, I trust my team without building the structure to support it, isn't leading, They're hoping. You want to put a system in place, you want to have a structure in place that builds up the confidence, builds up the consistency, so that when things don't go as planned, the team has the confidence and the clarity to be able to push forward, come up with a conclusion, and one that you can stand by. Are you ready to stop carrying and start leading? If today's video named where the carrying is still happening, workbooks 2 and 3 are where you examine the specific breakdown points and what the conditions for ownership look like in your business. You can find both workbook 2 and 3 at Majority Academy. I also want to tell you that you can take a look at this free business assessment, Leverage versus Labor Diagnostic. It shows you where the current structure is producing capacity or just cycling the workload into a different form. You'll find a link in the description. And if you found this helpful, like, share, and subscribe, and drop leading in the comments so that I know that this is resonating with you. I'll see you in the next episode.